today we'll be looking at understanding the power of data, which I believe is the best solution for growing your business. So, before we proceed, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Naomi Obagwu. I am a data analyst and the founder of LED Consulting. I'm on a mission to help young entrepreneurs understand their business using data and simple language so they can grow with confidence, make better decisions, and stop guessing their way through business. So, LED Consulting was created to help these young entrepreneurs. And what we do is that we make business growth clearer, easier, and practical for them. Now, I want you to know that this course is not a technical training. So we would not be focusing on any programming, but practical applications of data to your business using Google Sheets and Excel. This course is also not just for data experts. You don't need to have a background in data analysis to really start using and utilizing data for your business. And it is not a quick fix. Real growth takes time and effort. So this is not an instant solution to your business. But as you keep practicing, you would surely see results in your business. This course is a guide to transformation, a roadmap to teaching you how to leverage data to improve your business. It is action oriented. That is, you can apply it directly to your businesses immediately. And it is also beginner friendly. So I will be using simple language, helping you understand and break down all that you need to know about data. And even someone as young as 16 can understand. By the end of this video, you will understand what data really is, see how data helps businesses grow, identify the data your own business is already generating, and define key data questions you want to answer. Now, what is data? You know, um, when I conducted a workshop recently, I realized that many of them do not know what data is in the context of business, but mostly browsing data, buying MTN data or Airtel data. But that is not what data is in business. Data is the collection of facts. That is factual information, whether numbers, pictures, videos, words, measurements, when they are collected and interpreted and processed, right? You can use them to gain insights. And real world examples of data include your name, your age, it could be any gender, or 10 kg, which is a measurement. That is data because it is factual information about a thing. And now there are two types of data. We have quantitative data and qualitative data. Quantitative data is numerical. So these are things that can be counted, they can be measured, and they are expressed in numbers. While we have qualitative data, they are descriptive, they are non-numerical, right? They focus on qualities, attributes, or interpretations. So, an example of qualitative data would be in your business would be your customer feedback, right? After buying a product, what they tell you, okay, I like this, I do not like it. The delivery was took a lot of time to get to my location. Those are qualitative data. They are still data, but they are not numerical. Now, quantitative data answers the question how many or how much, but qualitative data answers why or how by providing descriptive insights. Now, in business, like we already discussed, data is information that is collected from your business activities, such as sales, the sales that you make. You have your sales data, you have your customer behavior data, you have your marketing engagement, your product performance, and your operations data. Now let's move to data versus insights. Now we have already realized and understood that data is raw facts and numbers. But what is insights? Right? Insights tells us what those facts mean and how they inform smart decisions. I have four examples here, so let me go through it. Now, this is data. 45 people visited your Instagram page today. You have an Instagram page for your business, you're posting content about your business, selling your products, and then you realize, via your Instagram analytics that 45 people visited your Instagram page today. Now that is data. But what is the insight from this? Instagram is driving interest. People are really checking you out your business page. And from that insight, you can make a smart decision by investing more content there, right? Then we have another example. 80% of sales happen on weekends. You realize in your business that most of your customers buy during the weekends. What do you do? What's the insight? That is the insight. Customers buy more on weekends. The data is 80% of your customers, of your sales happen on weekends. And that tells you that this is the time that your customers are really buying from you. And then what do? You double down on weekends. You increase ads, promotions, you make sure that you're available for the weekends. Now, another example of data would be 15 customers viewed your product demo, but only two booked a call. Now, this is data, right? 15 customers viewed your products, but only two actually booked a call. That is, people are interested, but maybe your call to action is not strong enough. So, what do? You improve your follow up message. Another example of data versus insight would be 60% of complaints are about slow delivery. That is data. Most of your customers are complaining about slow delivery. So your insight will be fixing delivery speed, whether it is to change the delivery company you're currently using or to tell them to, facilitate their delivery process or delivery speed so that you can increase customer satisfaction and retention. Now, why does data matter to businesses? Why should I care about the data that my business is generating? This is because data helps you make smarter decisions. You will longer rely on guesswork, on intuition. I'm not saying that your gut instincts or your intuition are not always right or they're not correct, but data is actually facts that you can rely on, right? So you will be able to make smarter decisions with your data. You'll be able to reduce business guesswork. You'll be able to identify what's working and what's not. Maybe then you realize all the content you have been posting on different social media platforms, and then you realize for LinkedIn, no one is really engaging, but on Instagram, you're getting more, um, um, views, more reactions, and all that. So you can actually decide that, okay, I think my customers are mainly on Instagram. That is where I'll focus more of my attention. This is what is working for my business right now. I will focus more of my attention, more of my energy on Instagram compared to LinkedIn, right? Data helps you increase profitability, right? And data helps you understand your customers better. When you collect data about your customers, you get to understand them better, where they're buying from, their location, right? Their buying pattern. What time do they buy? Many people buy first during the first week of the month. That tells you their salary earners. So by the time the month is ending, you start posting out promos, doubling down on your content creation, just making sure that they see your content, because you know that once it is the first week of a new month, they're getting their salary. So that is what data does for you. Spot opportunities ahead of competitors also. Now, why this matters? Why does this matter? Businesses that track data grow faster. Yes, those people that make use of data. Your business is already generating data, you just haven't structured it, you just don't make use of it. But when you track your data and actually make use of it, you grow faster. And small businesses that ignore data struggle. Now, where can businesses use data? Now, for my business, my small business, where can I use data? You can actually use data in marketing, whether it's social media marketing. You can use it for customer experience, gathering information about your customers, you get to understand them better, and tailor strategies to actually satisfy them. Your product development, to know if your customers or people are actually interested in your product. Your operations, your pricing, to know if people are okay with the price that you're actually giving, and also revenue planning. Now, what happens to businesses without data? What happens to businesses that don't make use of the data that their business is already generating? They spend money in the wrong areas, right? One of the things is that they spend money in the wrong areas. They would not, they can possibly, most of their customers are coming from Instagram, and they don't know that. So they just decide, okay, since everyone is doing Facebook ads, or I've seen Facebook ads, let me do Facebook ads, and then they pay money for Facebook ads when they should actually be doing more on Instagram, because that's where most of their customers are coming from. And even in terms of, products, right? Whether you're selling rice or beans, for example, maybe your customers are buying rice. They're really buying the rice, but they're not really doubling down or buying much of your beans, right? Data will show you that this is what people are buying, but when you don't know, you just keep wasting capital buying rice and beans, and then you realize that um you have so much stock of beans, which is like capital preserved, that you're not able to utilize to buy more rice to give out to your customers. Then you misjudge your real customers. Right? When you don't collect data, you misjudge your real customers. You don't know, you tend to not know who you're serving, and you need to know who you're serving. Then you fail to see buying patterns. You fail to see the time that your customers are buying, what they are buying, how they are buying. That is what sites, or whether social media, whether walking, if you have a store, you fail to see buying patterns, and you miss growth opportunities. Businesses with data see exactly what is driving results. Businesses with data double down on working strategies. When they see that something is working, they double down on them. They stop wasting money in the wrong areas. They build predictable growth, and they understand their market deeply. You have to understand your market. You have to understand your customers, the people that you're serving, so that you can better serve them. Now, this is a mini quiz. I'm just going to ask these questions. You can just like include it. I will also be, saying the answers as we go further. But just to know if you understand what is being taught. What, which of these is data? One, yesterday sales. Two, your feelings about your business. Three, website clicks. Four, number of customers today. All right, if you chose one, three, and four, that is correct. Let's move to the next one. Data shows what is happening. What does insight explain? Yes, insight tells you why it is happening. Why it is happening. Yes. The next one, your daily sales record is a type of data, true or false? Yes, it is true. It is true. Which of these is not data? A, 35 customers visited yesterday. B, 120,000 sales today. C, you feel your marketing is not working. D, 57 people viewed your story. Well, if you chose C, you're absolutely correct. Now, let's move on to real life examples of people who actually utilized data, leveraged data to improve an an area of their business. Now let's look at this restaurant. A small restaurant tracked daily customer foot traffic. That means the number of people that are coming into their restaurant, most ordered meals, and peak serving hours. And this was the insight they got. Most customers came between 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., but evenings were slow. So what decision did they make? After realizing that most of their customers come between the time of 12 p.m. to 3 p.m., and then the evenings were slow. They realized that something was not working, and that was the evenings. And they introduced after 6 p.m. specials. And what happened? Evening sales increased 31% in 2 weeks. Let's look at another example, a freelance coach who decided to track where clients discovered her, which posts generates inquiries, conversions rate. Now, the insight generated here is that LinkedIn generated 70% of paid clients. What if they were focusing more of their attention on Instagram, right? Because like this person also, she was actually focusing more of her attention on Instagram when 70% of her paid clients were coming from LinkedIn. So then she shifted. This was a decision she made. She, she shifted her efforts to LinkedIn, and client sign up doubled in 6 weeks. Now look at the fashion boutique. The boutique tracked Instagram post engagement, website visit after posting, product clicks, and the insights they got is that videos led to 3 times more traffic than pictures. So they switched to reel only content. They started posting more reels, and online sales increased by 50% in 1 month. What data do you already have? Even if you're small and formal and informal, sorry, even if you're barely making 5 sales a week, you're already generating data. So the data you might already have is daily sales, customer names or contacts, Instagram insights, or social media insight, whether from Facebook or whatever Instagram, whatever social media platform you might be using, product demand trends, and customer feedback. All you just need is to organize it and start using it to make smarter decisions. Now we move on to business questions. So how do you collect data? Whether you want to actually, be intentional about collecting your data. How do you collect it? Before collecting data, define the questions you want the data to answer. What do you want to know about your business? And then you tailor those questions to to collect your data. Now, this is an example. I want to know where my best customers are coming from, right? That's what I want to know. I want to know where my best customers are coming from. And, that's my question. Where are my best customers coming from? So when I'm gathering data, I would know to include location. I would know to also include social media sites where they are actually, those are buying online. You know, what site are they coming from? If I also want to know which products or services are performing best, I would also, tailor collect the collection of data to that and what's working in my marketing. So these are just basically business questions. You ask yourself, what do you want to know about your business right now? And then you collect data in terms of that. In terms of that. Tools you can start with. So you don't need to start with expensive tools, right? You don't need to start with expensive tools. You can use simple options like Google Sheet or Excel. Google Sheet is a free or paid platform that anyone can use. You can use it for free, and also Excel. Your POS records, those sales you're making, whether it's your transactions, your bank transactions, those are data that you can actually also organize. Your Instagram insights. Instagram generates insights. So there's already Instagram analytics that tells you what is already happening on your page. And then your WhatsApp order logs, you can use WooCommerce. I think they have a free plan also. Then your sales book and diaries, you can use a notebook. Just be intentional about collecting your data and organizing it and using it, right? Leveraging it to improve your business. Okay, so we move to key takeaways. So these are things I don't want you to forget. Data is just information that is generated from your business activities. Whether a customer messages you, buys from you, or complains, that is data. Data shows you what is happening, but insights explain what the data means and what to do next. Every business already has data, even small or informal businesses. right? Like I said, even if you're making five or less than five sales a week, you're already generating data. Using data helps you make better decisions instead of guessing. You don't need to guess your way around your business. You don't need to go with the flow. Use data to make smarter business decisions. Businesses that use data grow faster than those that ignore it. Yes, those big companies that they actually utilize data to improve their businesses. So, entrepreneur, start doing the same thing. Um, Data helps improve marketing, sales, customer experience, and operations. Like I said, you can use data in every area of your business. Every area of your business. Not using data can cause you to waste money and miss opportunities. And you don't need expensive tools. Simple tools, free tools like Excel, Google Sheets, and your social media insights are enough to start. And then asking the right questions help you use data to grow your business. Now the additional resources, I the free books that I have, the essential data guide for solopreneurs. This just speaks on using data, how you can use data to improve your business. It is very beginner friendly. Anyone can read and understand and actually start implementing what they've learned from it in their business. It is just a 25-page guide. Then I also have the business clarity workbook. If you don't really know what you're doing, if you're confused about your business, you need this workbook, right? It asks the right questions to help you know who you're serving, the progress you're offering, the value you're offering, and what you're really doing in your business. And these two are available on Seller. I will put the link in the description so you can check it out. Also, join the LED community. The LED community is a free space for young entrepreneurs to get weekly resources, data and business tips, and support. It's also a place to learn, to grow, and to build your business with people who understand your journey. This is the registration link, which I would also post in the description. Then also stay connected with me and my business, led consulting, as well as led community. Follow us on social media for more tips, for more lessons and resources to help you grow your business. These are my handles on Instagram, TikTok, as well as other social media platforms. Do well to follow me. Thank you so much for staying and for learning from me. See you in our next video. Bye.